Let's dive right in. Menstruation. Um, I've been a rape prevention educator for over 35 years, specializing in talking to boys and men. That would be in high school, middle school, after school programs, a few Boy Scout troops, in college, class lectures, fraternities, athletic teams, juvenile offenders in the prison system, and a couple of sessions, 15 or 20 sessions with male adult perpetrators of all kinds of crimes. I ended up about 500 times with boys in prison. One of the first sessions, I did my introduction. I'm talking about sexual assault. Not all survivors are male, and not all perpetrators. Not all survivors are female, and not all perpetrators are male. So it's possible that some of you have experiences that don't fit the broad stereotype. Take care of yourself emotionally. You can correct me, tell me I'm full of it, it's true, but you can take care of yourself by not revealing things about yourself in front of the other boys, things they might use against you. So that's my safe space. Let's create a safe space, a respectful place where we feel safe talking about these things. So I did my introduction and I said, okay, let's go. Ask me a question. What do you think about that thing women do every month? This is the first time somebody had mentioned menstruation, and I said, I had to think for a moment. So I said, think, breathe, dance, cook, sleep, menstruate. Yes. I said, well, it's a fact of their life. In most cases, it means they're healthy. You don't think it's gross? No, not to me. Really? I said, well, I'm not a blood fetishist, but again, it's a fact of her life. If you care about her, I loved many of my partners who menstruated. So it was a part of their life, so it became a part of my life. Nothing traumatic. Really? And then I thought, why are they so... And then I thought quickly to myself, nobody ever said anything to me about this growing up. It was just sort of girl stuff, icky stuff. At most, there would be some allusion to it. So I said further to these guys, I said, they didn't talk to us about this. Us boys, my generation, were dumb as sticks. They didn't tell us anything. All it was something to tease girls about and, make them uncomfortable. And one of the boys says, oh, I am so busted. And I said, honey, we are all busted. So we had an interesting, that was an interesting opening to it. And I thought about it more, and I wanted to test when I went to public school, to high school, which I was doing pretty frequently at that point in Madison, here where I live. And I brought up menstruation, and the boys were like saying, don't you think that's gross? Don't you think? No. And I said, aren't your fathers talking to you any better than the fathers of my generation? My father never said a word. At least he didn't say it's disgusting, but he didn't say anything. And one of the boys even said, a 7th grade boy, not in prison, but a 7th grade boy said, well, are there tampons for boys? Now this is before there was any kind of official understanding around trans issues. Now I would have a more nuanced. So at the time I said no. I said most girls and women menstruate at some point in their life, so there are tampons for them. Boys do not. They're not tampons for them. And again, I was just kind of increasingly stunned and saddened, frankly, that nobody was talking honestly to boys for another generation. And so I said to the boy, well, didn't your father say anything? Did you ask him? Yeah. What did he say? And this 7th grade boy says, well, my father said, what are you, a faggot that you need to know? If this doesn't sum up boy culture, either neglected or lied to by adult men, including those who were supposed to love us, and not given ethical, accurate biological information. So it wasn't men, I didn't move that we changed the name of Men Stopping Rape, the volunteer group I belong to men encouraging healthy attitudes about menstruation. But you know, it certainly became part of the task because they would bring it up. Boys would bring it up constantly because they were, and then I pulled it apart more and I realized when I was their age, I had a mother. She was imperfect, but I loved her. I had a sister. I had female friends and teachers and other women in my life, girls and women. But everything I knew about them was taught to me by males. So they told me that females were inconsequential, inferior, disgusting, only to have sex done to them, never with them, and that their opinions and their feelings were irrelevant. And I wish I could say I had a war inside of me, but I didn't really have a war inside of me. I accepted the notions, the dominant paradigm, you might say, of what females were. And so as a result, I was like other boys. I said, you know, who am I? That was not encouraged for us to get any kind of freelancing, figuring out who we were. I was not female and not gay. And for the longest time, that has been the paradigm that boys grow up with. So they understand themselves as some double Zen omission, not something. But who are they? That's too dicey. We don't look inside because we have to make all kinds of ugly compromises to be real men. And to me, this is the package. Then I remembered I was food shopping in one of the big box food stores, and I saw a guy that I met once or twice at a party or something. You know, not even close friend, but not, you know, I knew him. And you know, how you doing? You know, back and forth a little bit. We ran out of things to talk about, and his stuff was on the long conveyor belt in front of me, and mine was still in the basket in the cart too before I checked out. And I was, you know, just idly looking at his stuff, and there in the midst of his stuff, there was a box of tampons. And I didn't gasp or scream or something like that, but he saw me see them and reassured me that they weren't for him. To me, this was illustrative, not what a great guy I am, but illustrative of just how uncomfortable we train boys to be. Now, here he was shopping for, I presume, his partner, and he had to apologize to me. There's so much more to talk about. If you want to hear more, contact me and I'll make another video. Thank you.